In today's video, I'm gonna share with you guys the top 10 best epic champions in Dragonheir Silent Gods for Season 1. The best of the best. And this will be based on my own experience, guys. Now, I got to play a lot of different legendaries, epics, rares, and honestly, I was not able to beat most of the content without using these 10 epic champions. They just gave so much value to my account. Now, of course, there are way more than 10 awesome epic champions in Dragonheir Silent Gods, and I can easily think of at least 20 that are amazing. Now, just to kind of like get a better understanding of what happened in the background with my account, with what heroes I had available, what I used and stuff, I'm quickly going to show you my roster, just so you get a grasp of everything. I have quite a few legendaries that are at level 100, and yes, they're amazing. They're really helping me, especially right now against the Feymander, the last 20 floors. That's where I am at the moment. We've done some progress since yesterday. Quite a few epics at level 100, quite a few rares, but at the same time, there are quite a few epics that never made it to level 100 on my account. And it's not because they're bad guys, it's because I didn't need them in any of my teams. They weren't going to improve much, and I've only had 6 teams for the Chaos Shadow. I haven't made multiple teams for all the elements, and if I would have made that, I would have definitely leveled up quite a few more epic champions, but I'll be doing that in the next season. Now, I have a few epic champions that eluded me for the entire season, but one of them is actually on my list because it happened so many times where I was like, I wish I would have had this epic champion, but unfortunately, I don't. So right here, all these epics that you see at level 1, out of all these, there are plenty that I would have taken to level 100, okay? A lot of them are amazing, and you kind of need scrolls for epic champions as well if you kind of like want to make the most out of it. But just to start with the very first epic champion that I have on my list, guys. This is one of them that eluded me the entire season, and I really wanted to have this champion in many different cases. Zarlot. Attack aura for all battles. Then you have, with the passive, a heal on every 4th attack, and you have a chance to silence the enemy. With a battle skill, you have a chance to place recharge speed penalty on enemies. This is an AoE skill. Very nice for crowd control. And this is a champion that will do an amazing job on a stun set. This ultimate deals damage, heals, fears the enemies. Honestly, I wish I would have had this champion for the Chaos Shadow. I wish I would have had this champion even for the Earth to the Balor. I wish I would have had this champion even for Arena. I wish I would have had it for the Pillar of Trials and for the Feymander in some cases, because he's absolutely amazing, right? Such an amazing champion. Now, keep in mind, guys, we are in Season 1, okay? And the reason why I'm keep mentioning this is because in the next season, the Elemental Affinity will change. And this will enable us to create different combos, different teams that will maybe be a bit more efficient than what we were able to create in Season 1. Some other epic champions will see a value surge, while others won't be as important anymore because the two elements might have multiple epic heroes that fill the same role. Okay, so keep that in mind as well. Just moving on towards the Season 2, I'm pretty sure these epic champions will still be at the top of the food chain, you know? So Zarlot is one of them that really eluded me. At the same time, there are a couple more that eluded me, and I wish I would have summoned them. Like, for example, we have Nathaniel. I've never got Nathaniel, and I could have definitely made some use out of Nathaniel. But again, I managed to do pretty much most of the stuff without him, and was not really mandatory. Then I have Rava, another champion that I really wanted to summon, and unfortunately, it eluded me, but maybe in the next season. Now, the next champion that I have on the list, guys, moving over to champion number 9, and we're not ranking them from 1 to 10 or anything like that. I'm just kind of like pointing them out. Tia. Tia was such a beast for so much content. If I needed to do the Grave of Wrath at the beginning, if I needed to do the Flame Domain, if I needed to do Ravatrix, if I needed to do Arena and counter champions like Questa or other champions that just snipe, she is an absolute beast, and the damage reduction that comes from her key too. So we have an accuracy aura in dungeons. The passive grants invisibility to the hero for 5 seconds when taking damage, and all the heroes that are under invisibility take 15% less damage, okay? Which is massive to have that damage reduction. The A2 heals the ally with the lowest HP and the allies with invisibility. Each ally can be healed once per cast. So you're getting a bit of healing from here too. Then you have the ultimate, gives you immunity, gives you invisibility, and puts healing prohibition on a target. And at the same time, she can actually smack for 850% attack. She's not shy of damage either. And honestly, even in the Shadow Chaos boss, she did such an amazing job. She's just overall very, very good. And for Arena, guys, to counter some of those snipers, she's incredible. Look at the initial recharge time, 9 seconds, 16 seconds for her ultimate. You're going to be at the top of the food chain with her if you're trying to counter those type of champions. Even champions like Sigrid. She's an amazing counter to Sigrid because she's going to put block debuffs before any of the other champions will get a chance to land debuffs in mass on all of your team, you know? So she's definitely an amazing champion. Questa, she deserves a massive shout out. She is incredible, okay? I use her a lot in the beta. I use her quite a bit now. But I feel like I haven't used her that much now to put her in my top 10, I'll be honest. Especially in all the endgame content. Even though she was great for the Chaos Shadow, she was my main damage dealer in there. I feel like she definitely had places where she wasn't as powerful as she should be, I think, you know? Vorash, man, like Vorash, or however you guys like to pronounce his name. It doesn't really matter where you want to use this champion, okay? Arena, PvE, in dungeons. He's not the best champion for the Vortex, but out of that, I feel like he's such a beast of a champion in pretty much most of the content. Especially once you are pushing towards the Pillar of Trials, once you're pushing towards the Feymender, having him on a stun set with this triple hit, man, is just massive. The buff prohibition, dealing pretty good damage, getting a bit of healing from the passive, having a chance to dispel buffs with a battle skill. An absolute monster. And he was the same in the beta. He was huge, and I feel like he's going to be huge in the next season as well. 100%. I couldn't have done most of the things with this without this bad boy. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. How much you love your Vorash. Then moving over to the next champion that we have on the list here, guys. There are quite a few other awesome champions in here. Rowena, Gardras, very nice. Even Dalbum, he had a lot of value for me. Doling, Katherine, again, she definitely deserves a big shout out. I actually went with Tia over Katherine on my top 10, guys. But the one that I have on the list here, guys, is not Clovis, is not Kamari, even though they're amazing, or Gituna, or the other ones, or Hegio, who's amazing too. Is Garas, of course. Like, I feel like this is a debate that we're gonna have for the entire day. A lot of people say Garas is the best tank in the game. I always said Fbot is the best tank in the game, and I'm still sticking with my Fbot though. Like, it's true, Garas is amazing. I love Garas, don't get me wrong. Great for Arena. Great for the Grave of Venom, for example. A lot of you guys might be struggling to keep Fbot alive there. But you know what? Garas, unlike the other tanks, stacks all this increased defense on himself, which makes him survive easier than the rest, okay? Now, I'm using Garas in a lot of content too with my Radiance team, and is an absolute beast. But just overall, I still think that Fbot was the MVP of the season, especially with the endgame content that came out, with the Earth to the Battle, with the Chaos Shadows bosses. Then we got the Resurgent Dragon and the rest of the things. I feel like he was pretty damn solid, and so was Garas. I'm not gonna take it away from him, and I feel like they're almost equal, But Garas, very powerful to survive in Arena, guys, and just to tank better than most of the other tanks. With this skill, he basically knocks up an enemy, hits recovery on himself, so he gets to heal a bit. The ultimate dispels all debuffs from the hero and heals the entire map. This is actually so nasty, and it comes in handy so much. I'm using him so much right now in the Feymender with my Radiance team because I'm just trying to kill the enemies as fast as possible. And my god, he is a beast, you know? He's carrying the team pretty well with the healing. So I'm hoping that he will be the same in the next season as well. And moving over to the next champion that I have on the list is Mylolita Yola. What a beast as well. When we're talking about crowd control, I feel like there's no one else in the epic champions tier that does a better job than Yola. Or Lola, that's how I like to call her. Attack aura for all battles. The passive, when attacking enemies under silence, there's a 40% chance of changing silence into stun. And this silence doesn't need to be applied by her, okay? Then you have the battle skill. Fires two lightning orbs at the enemy, each dealing lightning damage with a chance to land silence for 5 seconds. And then the ultimate, decrease attack and silence, which most of the time actually stuns the enemies, you know? And this is so massive, especially for the Pillar of Trials, for Arena, for the Fame Ender, for places where you want to control enemies is massive, guys. Then the next champion that we have on the list, guys, and right here we have Shagroll, we have Shelter. Theodore was pretty good for me. They're all amazing, amazing epic champions. But Vikuk stand out more than any of them in most of the content. Now, I picked my Vikuk from the 99 cents chest because I wanted to have a cleanser for my Vortex team. And oh boy, he's made for the Grave of Wrath. He's made for so much content. He was amazing in the Earth to the Balor, in the Chaos Shadow bosses. And just amazing against the Ravatrix, against the Fire Domain. Generally a very, very nice champion. And he might not sound like he's doing that much, you know. The passive, when the hero is inflicted with a debuff, there's a chance to land an accuracy penalty on the caster. The battle skill puts attack penalty. The ultimate dispels 2 debuffs from all enemies and heals them. This is the best epic cleanser in the game because he actually does a proper cleanse. You have Ina, the rare champion, that dispels 1 debuff only. Now you do have champions that put immunity, which are great as well, but Vikuk heals as well based on how many debuffs he's cleansing. The more debuffs he's cleansing, the more healing, up to 2 of course. And he covers the entire map. He was a massive, massive champion for my account, 100%. Even though I summoned Reita, which is a legendary poison champion, a cleanser that does most of the things, I still use Vikuk quite a bit, and that really shows his value. Then the next champion on the list, guys, of course, is gonna be Fbot. A lot of you guys commented on my video, or even on stream when we were doing the Earth to the Balor, the Chaos Shadow bosses and stuff. Man, I wish I would have picked Vikuk. I went and I picked Voresh, or I picked some other champion, but I really wish I would have picked Fbot. And honestly, he is just so damn good, man. Defense aura only for dungeons, okay? So you can't really count on it for all the battles. The passive gives a bit of healing, has a chance to dispel debuffs from the ally, okay? And this is very, very helpful. You might not imagine how helpful this passive is. Then the battle skill, a healing nexus that heals all your team. You know that in my Vortex team, he is my only healer, guys. And he's been my only healer since probably day 3 of Season 1. I removed Hexandra and other healers, and he is the only one doing all the job. And great in every dungeon. There's literally no content what I would say don't use Fbot. He's not good there. Okay, even in the Vortex. Actually, the only place where I wouldn't use him is the tower defense game mode, the mini ones that you find on the map. But other than that, he is absolutely amazing. And with this skill, he just deals attack penalty. But is enough, is consistent, and this is really, really helpful from a champion like him, you know. Then another champion that is on my list as a superstar, and probably a lot of you guys really, really got to understand his value. I've been telling you about him since the beginning of the season, and it took a while for people to start and pick him up. Adolphus, right? The best shielder in the game when we're talking about epic champions, and just generally. All the shield that he's giving to your team and the support that he offers is crazy. You're not gonna understand it till you have him, you use him, and then you take him out of the team and see what happens. That's when you really understand his true potential. With the passive, if the target already has a shield when the hero grants them a shield, additionally heals them equal to 75% of the shield granted. Then you have the battle skill. Grants a shield to an ally for 10 seconds, recharging their ultimate energy by 15 seconds. This was massive for the Copper Dragon too, because you needed to have ultimate energy manipulation, either up, either down, in order to remove the boss's stacks. And he was actually very nice in there. Not to mention, I used no healer with him in that team, and that was my second best team. 70 plus million on the Copper Dragon with him. No Fbot in the team. No Fbot in the team. He was the only champion supporting. Deals fire damage to enemies within range and grants a shield to each ally for 10 seconds. Now the shield value is based on enlightenment and HP, guys. So the more enlightenment you have on your champion, the bigger the shield. Definitely don't sleep on Adolphus and make a prayer to summon him, because he will be a massive carry in the next season as well. Then, of course, moving over to the next champion, and that will be no one else but Tona, the best epic damage dealer in the entire game. When we're talking about Vortex, she just melts. I have legendaries that don't do as much damage as her. When we're talking about other bosses where you just want to melt them, there's no one else to do better damage than her. The passive has 20 crit rate already, and each successful wild by allies grants 5% extra crit damage to the hero and stacks up to 20 times. So you're gonna stack 100% extra crit damage and 20 crit rate on the champion. You only need 80% crit rate on this champion. The battle skill wields the double blade, dealing 90% attack fire damage to the target 3 times. The higher the number difference between the buffs on the hero and the target, the higher the damage. The ultimate gains 20% attack up, okay, so she buffs with increased attack for 10 seconds and deals 160% attack fire damage to the target 5 times. She deals so much damage. She's literally like a machine gun, constantly spraying bosses down. That's what she does, and she is amazing. And she's irreplaceable in my Vortex team, for example. And on the Chaos Shadow bosses, on other areas like the Copper Dragon, even on the Revatrix, that's what I'm running on Revatrix. Her and Erich, for example. I'm not running a different team on the high levels because I want to melt that boss quick. The stacks and the poisons are just getting out of control if you stay in that fight for too long. And she is top notch for the domains. She's just melting those bosses, you know. Then this one right here, I simped for this champion from the beginning of the season, and I've done champion spotlights on a few champions in Dragonheir, guys, and Dane was one of them. And probably some of you might disagree with me for whatever reason. He has a double AoE. On the Copper Dragon, I want to mention that he out-damaged Sigrid by 30% at least, okay? Then, the aura is not the best because it's for the City of Trials, 30% attack. The passive, when the hero deals damage to enemies with less than 50% HP by skills, recharges the ultimate energy by 15%. This effect can only be triggered once every 5 seconds. Now keep in mind, he was a great enabler for Sigrid. He's a great champion for Arena, great for the Goblin, great for the Grave of Venom, great for the Grave of Curse, great for the Rune Dungeons as well. He's not the best for the Vortex, of course, I'm not gonna try to give that to him. But when we're talking about the Pillar of Trials, even in the Feymander, if you're using a team like this on a stun set, he will do an amazing job. So with the battle skill, deals damage, he puts healing prohibition, and he has a chance to put fear on the enemies, and he has a fairly decent range. With the ultimate, guys, has a chance to dispel 2 buffs from enemies within range, deals pretty good damage. Then he puts the lower version of attack down. I really wish this would have been the regular version of attack down. He would have been wow, okay, wow. Then, when targeting enemies with HP below 50%, steals all their buffs instead. Very impactful. Like, you guys have no idea how powerful this skill is for pretty much every content where you're encountering multiple enemies, even on bosses that buff themselves, guys. He was a monster for my account, and honestly, there's no way I'm gonna make a top 10 and not put Dane in it. How I mentioned, there are plenty of different epic champions out there that are amazing. I feel like I had most of them available, okay? I had most of them available. I still chose to go with these epic champions instead because they really enable me to do things that other champions were not. Of course, it can be different from account to account, from preferences to preferences. Each one of us, we tend to have our favorite heroes for whatever reasons. Maybe looks, maybe whatever. Maybe they we just relate more with them because they helped us through some harder content, you know? But these are my top 10 best epic champions in Dragonheir Silent Gods for Season 1, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Would you want to add any champions to the list? Would you want to take any of them out? And let me know in the comments down below why as well, because I'm very curious to hear your thoughts as well. I'll catch you all soon in the next video. Peace.